This is a help video for people who are starting to do third position on the violin or the viola. It's applicable to the violin or the viola because the technique is the same for both instruments. Third position comes in at around grade 2 to 3. It helps you to start playing the higher notes, but because we're doing this for violin or viola, we're going to start on the A string, and some of the notes that you find will be the same as ones that you'll find on the E string. They have a slightly different tone, and we sometimes play them in third position, even though you can get the same notes on the E string on the violin, because it's got that different tone. Sometimes if it's mixed in with higher notes, then it will save you changing position to get the higher notes and then go back to the lower notes. Now the first thing we need to do is to get into third position. Now I'm playing the violin here, but as I say, this applies to the viola as well. We're using the A string, which on my violin is the second to thinnest. On a viola it will be the thinnest string. So don't let that confuse you if you think I'm playing a different string to you. What we're going to do is finger 1, finger 2, finger 3 on the A string, just like that. 1, 2, 3. And this time, when you've done 1, 2, 3, you're going to go back to 1 and then slide it so that your first finger is where your third finger has just been. I'll play it for you. Now you'll notice that I did the slide all in one bow. That's so that you can hear when you get there. And the note that you finish on should be exactly the same note as you played when you played it with your third finger. Your thumb round the back there will go with you. Don't leave it behind like that. Take it with you, slide it down the neck of the violin. It shouldn't be gripping the neck of the violin in any case, but slide it with you when you go. So it goes like this. And your hand goes as a complete unit. I'm going to play that 4 times in a row. See if you can join in with me. I'll count up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you'll notice, of course, as well as sliding from first position into third position, you need to take your hand back to first position each time. So you're going to need to think about that and practice it lots of times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Now we're going to look at playing some notes in third position, but we're going to start again in first position on the A string, and we're going to think first about something called tones and semitones. When you play B and then you put your finger on C sharp, the distance between these two notes is called a tone or a whole tone. When you then put your finger on D, then your finger is a semitone away from your second finger. B and C sharp are a tone apart, C sharp and D are a semitone apart. What I'm going to want you to do now is to put your finger on B and then put a finger on C sharp, but this time instead of putting your finger on D, put it a tone away from the C sharp. So now you've got B, C sharp, D sharp, and your little finger comes in a semitone away from the D sharp on E. So the finger pattern and the pattern of tones and semitones for your fingers will be one, second finger is a tone away, third finger is a tone away, little finger is a semitone away. Tone, tone, semitone. You might prefer to think about it in this way. Space, space, squish. If that works for you, that's fine. But that is the finger pattern that we're going to be working with to start with. The notes that you're going to play with that finger pattern are B, C sharp, D sharp and E. Let's play it together now. 2, 3, 4. B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Again. B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Pause the video and play it a few times to yourself so that you can get used to that finger pattern. Now we're going to play that in third position. What you're going to need to do is to find your third position first of all. If you've got stickers, it's easy. You put your first finger on your third finger sticker and hey presto, you're in third position. If you haven't got stickers, then what I would advise you to do is that little slide that we did to start with, so that your first finger is now where your third finger was. You've found third position and your first finger is in the right place. That's always a good starting point. Now I want you to take that finger pattern that we just did in first position, space, space, squish, or tone, tone, semitone, and do it in third position. It will sound like this. So the notes that now you've got are D, E for your second finger, F sharp for your third finger, and G for your fourth finger. It should sound exactly the same as when you play it in first position and you cross the strings. It's exactly the same notes, but as I said before, it gives you a slightly different tone which you possibly can't hear on this video, and when you're mixing those notes with the higher notes, it saves you having to switch positions halfway through a phrase. Let's play those four notes in third position, D, E, F sharp, G, 4 times each. Keep your first finger on all the time to anchor you into third position. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, E, F sharp, G. D, E, F sharp, G. Now we're going to play a tune called Chicken Cheeps Variation. It's from this book, and it uses those 4 notes that we've just been playing with. So make sure that you're happy in 3rd position, that you've found your 3rd position D, and that your finger is happy where it is. Think about where your other fingers are going to go. It's always a good idea to start thinking about the notes before you need to play them. And here is the tune. As you can hear, it just goes D, 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 E, 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 F sharp and G, F sharp and G, F sharp and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just those 4 notes, and of all my fingers, that finger is still where I put it to start with. That helps to anchor your hand in 3rd position. The book comes with a CD, and here it is with the backing. There are 4 beats before you start playing, and it is repeated. And this is a slightly more advanced piece called Trumpet Voluntary. It uses the same notes, a little bit more mixed up, but the same finger pattern, the same spacing, tone, tone, semitone. What it includes in this tune is an open A. So at some point you are going to need to let go of your 1st finger so that you can play that open A. Things to watch out for: there is a double up bow where you play 2 A's of those open A's, and there is a slurred dotted rhythm before the last 4-beat note. This is how the tune goes. You need to make sure that your hand is happy in 3rd position. Often a good idea to play yourself that 1st note to make sure that your finger sounds nice before you start playing, and this is the tune. I'll count in 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you take your finger off the open A and you put your 1st finger back on the D, make sure it goes back in just the right place, otherwise it might sound strange. And this is the tune with the accompaniment. It's a very fancy accompaniment with a church organ. There are 2 bars introduction at the beginning, the tune is repeated, and then there are 4 bars of the accompaniment at the end.